Hello friends, I am Ashwin. Welcome to my chess channel. In this video I will show you a beautiful game which will help you in countering, destroying or crushing the scholar's checkmate or 4-move checkmate. The game was played between Edov versus Borisov in 1889. Edov white pieces started the game with pawn to e4 and now pawn to e5 by Borisov. And now Edov played queen to h5. First of all it attacks the pawn on e5, and white's next move would be to play bishop to c4 so that he can deliver the checkmate on f7 with queen capture on f7 with the help of this bishop on c4, and this is known as scholar's mate. But black can meet this very first threat, that is queen capture on e5, by playing knight to c6, which was played in the game, and now bishop to c4. And friends, here you cannot play knight to f6 of course, otherwise queen capture f7 is just scholar's mate, and that was white's idea. But after bishop c4 you can play pawn to g6, which was happened in the game, and after g6 queen has to retreat, so queen went to f3, and again raising the same threat, queen capture f7 checkmate. But now you can play knight to f6, that blocks queen access to the f7 square, and here again white played queen to b3 attacking this f7 once more. And friend, this is serious mistake because you are moving queen h5, f3, and now queen to b3. Too many moves with your queen, so this must be punished. So pause the video here and find the winning move for black. Ready? The winning move for black is knight to d4. You can just ignore this pawn on f7. In the game white played queen to c3, and say you are playing bishop capture on f7, and then king to e7 wins on the spot, because now white cannot meet all the threat like knight capture c2 check that forks the king and the rook, knight capture on b3, and if you move the queen on from the same diagonal, then simply king capture on f7 is just winning. So in the game, after knight d4, white played queen to c3. Of course queen to d3 won't improve much. After pawn to d5 and say bishop capture d5, knight capture d5, pawn capture d5, and now bishop to f5. And on the next move you can play knight capture on c2, that forks the king and the rook. But after knight d4 we have this queen to c3 in our game, and here black can easily win with knight capture on e4, and say after queen to d3, pawn to d5, and once you move your bishop to b3, bishop to f5 is just killing, isn't it? But in the game after queen c3, black played pawn to d5, and this is also perfectly playable and equally good move. Black is aiming to make room for his bishop, particularly on f5 square, once this pawn on e4 is removed. So here white played bishop capture on d5 and knight capture on d5, pawn capture on d5, and black played bishop to f5 with an idea of knight capture on c2, that hits the king and the rook and therefore winning the rook. And you cannot defend this c2 square anymore with knight to a3, otherwise bishop capture on a3 is just crushing, and simply you cannot take with the pawn, otherwise knight capture on c2 forks the king and the rook, so wins the rook. And similarly you cannot take with the queen, because this is even worse with knight capture on c2 forking the king, rook, and the queen, therefore winning the queen. So this is completely winning position for black. But after bishop f5, white thought that he can still defend this c2 by blocking the way of this bishop, and he played pawn to d3. And friends, this is crucial mistake. Now pause the video here and find the winning move for black. And after the next move, white actually resigned. If you see closely, that knight capture on c2 check actually attacks the king, the rook, and this b4 square. So you can play this bishop to b4, that pins the queen, and so queen has to take the bishop, otherwise white will lose the queen. So after queen capture on b4, black can fork the king, queen, and the rook of course, but on the next move you can win a white's queen. Therefore this is completely winning. Therefore in this position, after bishop to b4, white decided to resign here. That's it, friends. What we learn through this game? We learn through this game that we should not make too many moves with your queen, and we also learn that how you can just crush the 4 move checkmate if your opponent plays so. So thanks for watching. Bye for now. Take care. Bye bye.